Neil Diamond is not just a pop rock legend. He is the heartbeat of America. Sweet Caroline isn't just a song. It's a melody that echoes through stadiums across generations, carrying love, loss, and memory. But behind the voice that millions adore is a man who endured storms few could survive. From a poor Brooklyn boy to a global icon, Neil's journey was marked by heartbreak, loneliness, and struggle. Every wound became a song, every tear a melody that healed others even as his own heart bled. Born January 24, 1941, to Jewish immigrant parents, Neil grew up in cramped apartments and endured harsh winters, hunger, and silence. When his father went to war, his mother moved the family to Wyoming, leaving Neil with only cinema and songs as companions. Music became his voice when words failed. At 15, a $9 guitar changed everything. The boy who once whispered into apartment walls began turning pain into art. By 16, he was hooked on music, even as survival demanded more than melodies could give. College offered a pre-med path, but Neil's heart was elsewhere. He knocked on publishing doors, faced rejection after rejection, and survived on pennies while chasing a dream. Every no became a scar. Every scar became a song. By 1965, Neil began to break through, writing hits for others and eventually for himself. He never compromised truth for fame. Success came with chains, but he sang from the heart, proving that art is born from isolation and identity from struggle. Neil Diamond's story is more than music. It's hunger, heartbreak, and resilience turned into melody. The journey of a boy from Brooklyn who became the voice of a nation. Out of despair, beauty emerged. The boy who once sang to survive now found his voice. In a lonely room above birdland, with breath freezing in the night, the first notes of solitary man took shape. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he had survived the city that devours dreamers, turning its cruelty into song. From that darkness, the world began to hear him. His melodies soon spilled from car radios, jukeboxes, wedding halls, and neon-lit bars, embedding themselves into the everyday rhythm of America. Yet even as applause thundered, loneliness whispered in the silence between cheers. In 1966, I'm a Believer, written for others, exploded worldwide. Neil's songs made strangers fall in love, while he still walked home alone, winter rain soaking his shoes. His own story poured out in Solitary Man. Not a hit, but a lifeline. By 1969, Sweet Caroline became an anthem, and innocence turned universal joy. Crowds joined as one, yet behind every chorus, Neil remained the solitary man who had given everything to music. The 1970s crowned Neil Diamond king. Cracklin Rosie, Song Sung Blue, Hot August Night. Stadiums roared, albums soared, but backstage, exhaustion was relentless, and the man who brought joy to millions often collapsed into silence. Triumphs and failures followed, Broadway flops, film missteps, but songs like Love on the Rocks, Hello Again, and America endured. Decades of touring left him bruised. Back pain, fevers, and a tumor brought him close to death. When he woke from surgery, his first question was, "Can I still sing?" The answer was yes. Behind every ovation was a man who gave too much, loved too deeply, and sang until it hurt. Fame couldn't drown the quiet of home or the ache of love slipping away. Before the world knew him, there was Jay Posner, who believed in him when no one else did. They married in 1963, had 2 daughters, and shared nights of half-finished songs. Despite stadiums and sold-out arenas, Neil remained the boy from Brooklyn, dreaming, creating, and carrying love and music in equal measure. For a while, the dream and the love seemed enough. Then came sudden, blinding success. I'm a Believer exploded across America, but fame demanded everything, leaving home empty. Neil was always gone, writing, recording, touring. Jay stayed behind, a mother watching her husband turn into a photograph. He belonged to everyone now, she whispered, just not to us. In interviews, he looked happy. In her kitchen, she felt lost. Calls were distant, voices unreachable. We're fine, they said, but both knew they weren't. By 1969, love had thinned beneath absence. No scandal, no shouting, just exhaustion. Two good people on opposite sides of a dream too heavy to carry together. The night he left, rain fell soft. He kissed their daughters goodbye, whispering, "I'll be back soon." Her silence said everything. Neil gave the world his voice, but lost the small, sacred music of home. Then came Marcia Murphy, a quiet mercy. She fell for the man, not the legend, patient with his silences. She didn't ask for songs. She just listened. For the first time in years, the noise inside him quieted. They married in 1969. Laurel Canyon shimmered with beginnings. Neil played barefoot in the kitchen, Marcia watching, humming, proud. Jesse arrived in 1970. Micah 8 years later. Family and fame danced, fragile but luminous. For a while, he thought he could have both, but dreams demanded blood. The 1970s turned him into a phenomenon. Cracklin Rosie, Song Sung Blue, Beautiful Noise, America. Sold-out nights, flashing cameras, hotel rooms that blurred into airports. Applause replaced heartbeat. At home, Marcia held the world together. The boys learned their father's voice through television speakers instead of bedtime stories. He always came back, she said, just not all of him. By the late 70s, cracks were visible. Neil was bone-tired, hollowed out by applause, writing through pain, touring through fever, smiling through exhaustion. Love unraveled quietly, inevitably. Conversations shortened, laughter turned to echoes. "We just ran out of road," Neil said. Neil's divorce stunned Hollywood, one of the largest in entertainment history. Yet he held no resentment. "She was worth every penny," he said. Gold could never buy back a single night he hadn't been home. His sons, Jesse and Micah, felt the absence even as they grew. Neil had written songs that healed millions, but at home, love had gone off key. "I gave her years of songs, but not enough days at home," he whispered. When the last box was carried out, he stood in the quiet ruins of his success. A man with everything the world could give, and nothing the heart could keep. In Australia, Neil met Ray Farley, who loved the man, not the legend. Their quiet devotion, long walks, shared songs, caring through injury, taught him that home is a person, not a place. Family remained his anchor. His brother Harvey, his mother Rose, and enduring friendships like Glenn Campbell shaped his life. Then Parkinson struck, ending his stage career, but not his spirit. Now in Colorado with his wife Katie, Neil writes and plays as he can. Sweet Caroline still echoes, a testament to survival, love, and the enduring power of music. At 82, his life is built on gratitude, family, and giving back. Proving greatness is measured by resilience, not applause. Whenever his music lifts you, honor the gift, not just the legend, but the man, father, husband, and poet who turned silence into song. Keep your rhythm alive. You don't need a stage to shine, only a heart brave enough to keep singing.